What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Destiny. Gonna have a little talk about Destiny, about the current expansion that's out now, the House of Wolves. I hope you guys are enjoying the expansion so far. I've been trying to do some of my thoughts on the story missions as I've been playing through them, but kind of had to slow down on those a little bit. Just wasn't really feeling making the videos the last day or so, just because I was a little bit bummed out
Let's see what kind of
by
trouble
the
we can get into.
by the story what we got with this expansion. However, that doesn't mean I hate the expansion completely. I do have some mixed feelings on it. I think there's some things they did really well. I think there's some things they really missed out on, and overall it's been a mixed bag. But I'm gonna wait till after the weekend to put together my thoughts on the overall expansion. I want to see how Trials of Osiris is received and how that all comes out. And I wanted to talk about something different today on this video. So what I actually wanted to talk about is whether or not Destiny is going to be able to sustain itself until its next expansion. And the reason I say that is because with the House of Wolves, Bungie made it a real point to try to remove a lot of the grind from the game, and they've definitely succeeded. I can say that for sure. There is really, it's not that hard to get gear anymore. It's really actually, in my opinion, way too easy now. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of background, I come from playing a lot of MMO type games, traditional RPG games, where it does take a while to actually level up and get your gear, and there's a progression system, and there's a reward, that comes with that progression. You feel accomplishment and things like that. That is not in Destiny at all, really. It really never has been because of the RNG loot system. But now, even with that RNG loot system, which is something a lot of people have complained about, myself included, mainly because I've had just terrible RNG with this game, and that's what's going to make one of my other points here a little bit hilarious. But it's, there's really no sense of accomplishment or anything when you get a weapon in Destiny, because it's all random. It's nothing you really did. Yeah, you're playing through the content, and you're doing the certain, like, you might be doing the Nightfall to try to get an exotic. You might be doing the raid to try to get an exotic. So you have a minor amount of control over it, but for the most part, it's completely out of your hands in terms of actually, getting gear in the game. So what Bungie has done is they've really pretty much eliminated all of the grind path from the game. They took out the commendations you used to need to buy gear from the Vanguard and the Crucible and from the factions. So that's one thing they eliminated in terms of a block. They've also, I'm pretty sure they've changed the drop rate on items, or they've just added a lot more to the loot table for a lot of the activities in the game. Because since the House of Wolves came out, I mean, legendaries have been dropping like candy. It's like they opened up a loot pinata. And it's interesting, because a lot of people have, there were a lot of people that whined about the RNG and about, it takes too long to get stuff, and I don't have anything cool, my friends have all the exotics, and it really seems like they went out of their way. It's almost like they just opened the doors and said, here, take it, take everything, everybody can have all of it, and it's like they threw the baby out with the bathwater, is the saying. But it seems to me like right now, it's just so easy to get gear, it's so easy to level up. And I'm going to use myself as an example here. I'm going to take a look here at my, this is my Warlock, and this is on PlayStation 4. Now, I have been on Xbox One for over a year, and it took me quite a while to get my first 32 on Xbox. It took me quite a while. I had to run the raid, obviously, to get the raid armor. And you did feel some kind of accomplishment a little bit with completing that raid and getting some of the gear from it. But, especially with Crota, it became really easy to run that raid. It was about, 20 to 30 minute affair towards the end, and everybody had their strategy down and everything. So again, there really wasn't a whole lot of work you had to put in order to get any of that loot. So this is my Warlock on PlayStation 4. This is really the only character I've been working on. Now, I bought my PlayStation 4 Thursday night. It was payday. I had Friday off, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to relive the college days. I'm going to go to Walmart at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to buy a PlayStation 4. And I got the Last of Us bundle, brought it home, set it up. And I had been debating whether or not I was going to actually pick Destiny up on PS4. Because obviously on Xbox, I had 3 characters over level 30. I was ready to go for the House of Wolves expansion. I had already paid for the House of Wolves expansion. Well, as fate would have it, as I booted up my PS4 and got back on my old PlayStation account, which I hadn't used in probably a year and a half, I found out that I had $20 left in my PlayStation wallet from where I used to play on PlayStation 3. So that made it kind of interesting, and then they gave me a $10 coupon with the new PlayStation 4 for PSN Store, and so I had $30 to spend in the PSN Store. Well, if you guys were aware last week, both on Xbox and PlayStation 4, you were able to pick up the Destiny Digital Guardian Edition for $60, and that includes the base game and both of the expansion packs. So you basically got over $100 value for $60. And that was the same package I had purchased on Xbox when I pre-ordered, for $100. And so I was able to actually buy that for $30. At $30, it was kind of a no-brainer because that's, even though I always talk about the lack of content in Destiny, for $30 with the full expansions, it's actually not a bad deal for the game. Now, so that's Friday night. That's been almost, let's see, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, about 6 days, 5-6 days. Now, I'm a very casual player. I don't play Destiny tons of hours like a lot of other people. I probably play like about 2 to 3 hours a night, and that's about my average. Now, in this Warlock character here, I have 17 hours of total playtime on this character since I bought the PlayStation 4. So like I said, it's about 2 to 3 hours a night for the last 5 days or so. I'm already level 32, and I've got both my subclasses leveled pretty well. Now here's the crazy thing. I've already got a legendary primary, and I've got 5 legendary secondary weapons. I've only got the one rocket launcher here. I haven't been real lucky with the heavy weapons. And I've already got a full set of brand new legendary gear in all 4 slots. And I've even got, I got 2 of these, one from doing the Eris Morn quest. But, I mean, that's 17 hours of play. Like, that's unheard of. It took me months to get a 32 before House of Wolves came out. And the thing is, like, every playlist is just dropping legendaries like it's going out of style. Like, this is the first rule DHYB. This is a new auto rifle. I got this. I actually reforged this. This is really cool. You can get focus fire now on all the auto rifles. So you can basically make a poor man's Suros regime out of any auto rifle. Just re-roll it until you get some really good perks. Like this one, I got focused fire, extended mag, and persistence. But we'll talk about that later. This dropped from, I just got on to play the Crucible. I just did the daily playlist to get my, you get your trials coins and all that stuff. And this dropped for me in the Crucible. And then I was doing the, just the 5 control match bounty. I try to do those bounties every day just to experience more of the Crucible modes and play more Crucible. And let me see, what did I get in that? I think I got, was it the sniper rifle or, I want to say it was the sniper rifle. The Subtle Nudge DN7, and this dropped in another control match. So I got 2 legendaries in the span of about 4 matches played of Crucible, and in that same span I saw other people getting lots of legendaries. I mean, I think all but one game out of 6 matches I played this morning, 5 of those games dropped at least 1 legendary weapon. And it's not like before where it was dropping engrams. Now you can actually, it's an actual weapon. It's not an engram, so you don't have to worry about a chance of getting something. You're actually getting legendary drops. Now, the Vestian Dynasty, you get this from doing the story missions, the new story missions with House of Wolves. This weapon is amazing. It's awesome, but we'll talk about that another time. Murmur I got from Eris Quest, and then 2 to the Morgue I got lucky. This was a Cryptarch drop on one of those engrams from the chest that you could get from the Ether chest, but you couldn't use them until Tuesday. This is actually a blue secondary, and it turned into an old 2 to the Morgue with full auto and hammer forge, so pretty good shotgun there. Now, then this fusion rifle, the Snakebite Surgeon, I actually jumped on. I just needed a couple marks to buy a piece of armor. I jumped on. I played 3 of the new Dragon Strikes, and this dropped in the second strike that I played. And then also this ship, the Glory Old Jump, dropped in one of those strikes. I've also got the Scorpio Miracle. Now, when Dark Below came out, it took me about a month to get a new ship. I've already got 2 of them, and I've only been playing this on PS4 for about 5 days. Now, in addition to that Snakebite Surgeon, I also got 2 legendary engrams during those dragon strikes, and one of those turned into the Eminent War Gloves, the other turned into the Eminent War Hood. These are both Future War Cult legendary armor pieces. And then I had another engram turned into the boots that I got from something else. I don't remember what it was. And then this I actually bought. This is the only piece I've actually had to buy. So everything else I've had has been drops in just probably the last day or 2 that I've played. And on my Xbox account, I can tell you when I went in, I went in and played the story on my Xbox account because I had everybody ready to go. Literally, I only played for about 2 hours yesterday on Xbox. I think by the time it was all said and done, I had like 7 new legendary weapons and 2 new legendary pieces of gear. And that's not even counting the stuff I got in my packages or that I could have purchased with the marks I've already got saved up. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much this gear is dropping from these playlists. It's just constantly, It's like a like a loot pinata, and somebody just beat it open, and it's just loot is pouring out. And then you got the Prison of Elders, which I have played. It's actually pretty good, I will admit. I was kind of skeptical. It's pretty good, but that having been said, I don't see how it's going to sustain the game until the next expansion. And that's kind of what I wanted to get into here, is how is Destiny going to sustain itself for the next few months? Because as far as we know, the next major expansion is rumored to be coming out sometime in September, which is 4 months from now. And it's supposedly going to be that Taken King or Comet, whatever they're calling it. It's going to have all the new story missions. I'm not even going to call them story missions anymore. It's going to be a bunch of missions where you go down a linear path on maps that are already in the map, and then you do horde mode at the end. So it's going to have 12 of those. It's going to have some new strikes, and supposedly a new raid or 2. We'll see. So it's going to be interesting to see how the player population stays up in the next 4 months. And I'm talking about especially from the more serious players. Because if I'm a casual, like I said, I play 2 to 3 hours a night if I'm lucky. A lot of that's when I'm working out on my exercise bike. I have my wireless controller, and I'll play the game for a little bit. And sometimes I get most of my playtime in on the weekends. But for some of the people, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because you guys have already seen, like I said, I got a 32 in like 5 days, and I'm just getting loot drops left and right. And I know I'm not alone. There are people who hit level 34, which is the level cap, yesterday, about 4 hours after the DLC dropped. 4 hours after the new DLC comes out, there's already people at level cap. And a lot of them. There's already people that have beaten level 35 Prison of Elders. And it's ridiculous. The amount, the drop rate now on legendaries, it's so easy. You don't even have to work for it. You just, I heard somebody joke about House of Welfare. It's like you just show up, you turn on, you log into the tower, and after 5 minutes, you're already level 32. You've got all your legendary gear. It's just amazing. I noticed that engrams are dropping a lot more often too from mobs. It's just amazing. It's like I said, they just threw the baby out with the bathwater and decided to open up the floodgates. And so what I'm afraid is going to happen, and just knowing from the little bit of Prison of Elders I played, is even on the level 28 Prison of Elders, as long as you have one of those treasure keys, you get to go to the treasure room, and you get to open up that big treasure chest, and you will get some good items out of there. I've gotten some pretty good stuff on Xbox already. I've got some exotics. I've got some of the new Queen stuff. I have my 2 friends in my clan that played last night. They just went in and did the 28 as kind of a dry run just to get used to it. And it was very easy. They got through it in about 30 minutes, and they both had a treasure key. So one of them got Red Death, one of them got the scout rifle from the Queen, the other got Dragon's Breath and the fusion rifle from the Queen. That's in addition to a bunch of strange coins and glimmer and other stuff you get from the smaller chest. The main chest drops exotics and other cool stuff. But it's just so easy to get gear, and all those people, everybody farmed those keys for the treasure chest. You can go in and run Prison of Elders as many times as you want now during the week. And as long as you have a treasure key, you can open up that chest and you will get some really good items. And I've heard mixed results, like everybody's saying, oh, you only get an exotic the first time, but there's other people who have gotten exotics every time. But it's just raining loot. It's raining loot out there. And like I said, everybody's 34. You've already got people that have beaten the level 35 version of Prison of Elders. And we're 2 days into the DLC. We're 2 days into the DLC. What are you going to do for, the next 4 months? Because my whole thing is, I can see you want to go in and you want to beat the level 35 Prison of Elders. It's bragging rights to say, oh, I did it. You got the special loot from it. But after you beat it once or twice, what's the point? If you can get exotics and decent gear from the level 28 that you can just run and get done in 2 minutes without even thinking about it, and you're going to get all the gear, what's the point? And how long is that going to be? People got bored of Crota real fast, because Crota, let's be honest, it got to the point where it was so easy. You know, people just started to cheese it for fun, doing crazy stuff like jumping off the lamps, blowing up the lamps to send themselves over the wall, and all kinds of other stuff. And people just eventually will start resorting to glitches and things to run it as fast as they can and just get all the gear. Because quite honestly, after you beat Prison of Elders, unless you're a really hardcore PvP player and you're going to be doing Trials of Osiris all the time, there's really nothing else for you to do in Destiny. There's nothing else to do in the game. Like, what are you going to do in the game? Is, you know, how many times can you run Prison of Elders over and over and over again? Because what's going to happen, it's going to become a point of basically the only thing you're going to be able to do is keep playing the game to get more weapons and gear. I mean, and what's the point? What do you need it for? You know, you're already level 34. You don't need more gear to run Prison of Elders. You've already got it. So you're just, basically you're hoarding and collecting gear at that point. The game becomes a collection. It's like Pokemon or something. So that's my worry. You know, I just don't see how the game is going to maintain its especially its hardcore player base, because like I said, if someone like me can jump on 2 to 3 hours a night and basically get a level 32 within 17 hours of playtime, that's a joke. You know, that's a joke, and there's just really there's no meaningful in-game progression to really help out the game. That's one of the things that Destiny really needs, and I'm working on a video. I got some notes I'm making about stuff they could do that's very simple that they could implement to make the end game a little bit more worthwhile. And it's just very, very simple stuff. But the problem is, of course, you know, it's going to cost money for them to make any kind of major changes to the game. So we're probably not going to really see anything. At this point, our best hope is that they've learned their lesson and they're going to make Destiny 2 amazing. But who knows? So anyways, guys, that is my thing. You know, I don't see, you know, and I'd love to hear everyone's opinion on this and see what you guys think. But especially like for some of the bigger YouTube channels, you know, myself personally, I'm not a big YouTube channel. I don't care about that because this is, you know, I do YouTube as a hobby. It's just something to learn a new skill set and do something fun in my spare time. You know, I'm not trying to get big or make money off YouTube. I have a job I work during the week and things like that. So it's just a fun hobby to do, and it's really been pretty enjoyable so far. And you know, I get to voice because of that, because I don't care about getting big on YouTube. I can pretty much voice my opinion. I don't have to really, you know, be politically correct about a lot of things like some of the bigger channels are, because they don't want to lose some of their fan base. And they obviously don't want to irritate some of the companies that give them, you know, little favors and things. But, you know, that having been said, I'm wondering, especially with the bigger YouTube channels for Destiny, like how are you going to sustain a channel on this game? I mean, there's already, you know, what I've heard called lazy content out there about Destiny. You know, it's just amazing how I'm so tempted a lot of the times to do those Ingram videos because I see how many views other people get on those, but then I hear other people say, oh, that's such crap content. You know, all you're doing is you're sitting there pressing a button and showing people what loot you get, you know. So I can understand that. I can see where that would be frustrating. And I personally just I'm not that, you know, I don't want to say desperate for views, but, you know, I just don't see that as being meaningful content. You know, I'd rather put in some work and do a weapon review or a weapon guide or do a guide on a strike, you know, and some strategies, things like that. I'm more about helping out newer players. You know, I don't really think people care about what I got on the Nightfall strike, or they want to see my my rewards from Nightfall this week or my rewards from Prison of Elders this week. And that's really all you see anymore with Destiny. Is you see a lot of this, you know, it's, oh, this is the rewards I got, oh, check out this new Sparrow I got, or it's just silly stuff. And there's no real meaningful Destiny content, really. It's hard to create that meaningful content for this game because it's really hard to find meaningful content in the actual game. And that's one of the reasons I like doing those weapon guides. And I'm going to continue doing those. People seem to like those, so I'll keep on doing those, especially for some of the new legendaries we're getting with House of Wolves. But I wonder how some of those larger channels are going to sustain content on this game, because after you've beaten Prison of Elders, you know, what is it going to turn into? Oh, these are my Prison of Elders rewards for the week. You know, I mean, what else is there? You know, you're not going to get any, you know, unless Bungie's sitting there in Seattle, like, you know, in their big evil, you know, Emperor Palpatine chair, like, you're just going, wah ha ha ha, we've got this secret expansion we're going to give you for free, we're not telling you about. You know, I don't see where any more content in this game is going to come from. You know, it desperately needs, I think, a shot in the arm, something for especially for PvE and for story. It's got to have some kind of in-game progression system, something that makes it worthwhile to actually get on and play. Because I'll be honest with you guys, like I said, I got to level 32 in about 17 hours. It's really no effort whatsoever. President of Elders is enjoyable, I will say that for now, but again, like I said, it's going to get boring after a couple weeks. It's not something you're gonna be able to do all. It's just because what's going to happen is it's going to turn into a strike playlist. It's basically just going to be a strike, like one of the strike playlists, except you get exotics and a lot better loot from it. And it's, like I said, after you've beaten the 34 and the 35 and you've gotten your etheric light and all your in-game gear, you're like, what's the point of, why would you run to level 35 when you can just do a level 28 in like 20 minutes, and just get it that way? And that's how a lot of the player base in Destiny is. That's why when you get on those rock strikes, that everybody just rushes through, gets on their Sparrow and drives through all the skippable parts of the strike, because they just want to get it. It becomes an object of, I just want to get all the gear fast, and that's pretty much all it is. So, and that's also kind of the funny double standard about the Destiny community. I do complain about lack of content all the time, but it's because I want to play a game that's got some good, meaningful content in it. A lot of other people complain about content. They say, oh, there's nothing to do, but at the same time, they get the game and they rush through everything in like 3 hours. That's why you've got level 34 players already, 4 and 5 hours after the DLC comes out. So it's like a double standard with the Destiny community. It's pretty hilarious. They complain about not having content, but then as soon as they get content, they rush through it all so quickly. And then they're complaining again about, oh, there's nothing to do in the game. So there needs to be some in-game progression. It needs a shot in the arm. But like I said, guys, I'm going to do a video on that. I got some really simple ideas I want to share about it, about how they could fix the in-game progression a little bit, but that's going to come a little bit later. Anyways, guys, I'm starting to ramble a little bit here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. But I want to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Do you think this expansion in the long run is going to be a bad thing for Destiny? Do you think it has actually made leveling way too easy? In my opinion, it's way too easy to get gear now. You don't have to really do any work at all. It's really easy, and it's amazing how fast you can level up now and how fast you can acquire all these legendary items. So, guys, I would definitely, if you're a new player to the game, you're probably going to love it. If you are a veteran of the game with how the grind used to be, you're probably wondering what the heck's going on, why everything's dropping now. But if you're a new player, or if you're a casual player sort of like me, you're probably enjoying it, because it's like, wow, I don't have to do much and I'm getting all this cool stuff. So, again, double-edged sword, I guess. So, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. A little bit about my schedule this week. I will do my best to bring you the first new Xur video on House of Wolves when it comes out this Friday. I do have family coming in to visit tomorrow night. So, in terms of being able to make videos while I've got company over, it's going to be a little difficult. I'm going to try to do a Xur video Friday. I may have to do that as just a recorded video of the, of what Xur has, and just do like text on it on my recommendations. I might not be able to commentate over it. It just depends on what how Friday goes for me. It's going to be a busy day with family, and then I'm probably not going to be able to put anything out until next week after family's gone. Like I said, I'm going to be working on that in-game progression idea video, and I'm also going to be working on my idea, or not my idea, but my thoughts on the expansion overall. I'm going to do a video about how my thoughts on everything on the expansion, in terms of the story and Prison of Elders and everything else. So, anyways, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, what you think about the state of the game. If you think the game can sustain itself with this current loot model now that it makes it so easy to get leveled up so quickly, and are you going to run out of stuff to do? Or are you going to play Prison of Elders for the rest of your life? Let me know. So, anyways, guys, it's been Technoviking23 coming to you with some Destiny today. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I will see you again next time.